Hello, you're with Libby Dyson from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And today I just thought I'd come in and show you how I've done this technique using the Pattern Party decorative masks from Stampin' Up. Now they come in a pack in a nice plastic bag and instructions, and there are 4 of them. So there's clouds, there's like a diamond pattern, a brick pattern, and the one we're going to use today is like a medallion type pattern without the blue tape. So what I've done is I've cut myself a card front larger than I wanted, and then I've sponged colour on, and then I've used the shimmery white embossing paste and put some colour in it. So that's what we're going to do today. We'll only make the card front. I will finish making the card once the embossing paste is dry, and I'll put it up on my blog. And all the products that I use today you can buy in my online store. So go to libbystamps.com and click on the shop button, and that will take you to my online store. Alright, so what we need is a piece of card, quite obviously. So this is 14.9 by 10.5, and I'm just going to place it like that. Now the decorative mask, as I said, doesn't have blue tape on it, but I think you can see where I've put blue tape around the circle in the middle. So I've masked the centre of the mask, if you like. Alright, so I'm going to pop that down in where I think is about the middle, about there I think. Alright, and then I'm just using blue painter's tape that you get from the hardware store, and I'm just reusing bits that I've used before because I can. So I'm just going to tape the mask down to my worksheet. Now I've got this sheet underneath because we're going to get a bit messy, and it makes life easier to clean it up, and I can't really tape the mask to my grid paper because it will tear the grid paper when I go to move it. You'll see why I need to move it in a minute. So I've got it all taped down. I've taped off the inside, and I've just used this 3M painter's tape, and I'm sure you can get that sort of most places. Alright, I'm going to use Berry Burst to start with, and just going to get my sponge, and I'm just going to ink up my sponge. Now I will start the video by showing you how I do this, and then I'll go silent and quicken up the video. So I'm just using quite a light hand because Berry Burst is quite a vibrant colour, and I don't want it to take away from my lemon lime twist that I'm going to add shortly. So see how I've got some nice colour coming on there? So just swirl on the colour, and the painter's tape's lifting up a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it won't affect what I'm doing. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute when I've finished doing all this sponging, and you'll be able to see what I do next. Alright, so I think that's about all the sponging done. Just get this little bit up here, and then I just bring in a piece of paper towel, and apart from getting the ink off me, you just rub it around the stencil, and it just takes off the ink that is on the mask. So you rub around your mask and it just removes that excess ink that you may have left on the mask itself. It's not taking the ink off the card. Alright, now, still with my mask down, alright, I'm going to carefully lift my mask. And now you need to be really quite careful at the centre so that you don't tear the card. So I'm just really lifting it with my fingers. Alright, and that reveals our berry burst pattern. Now I'm going to put the mask back on and line up the centres as best I can. Alright, and then tape it all back down again. So I've just moved it not even a quarter of a turn. Alright, now we're going to get messy. So I'm bringing in my Stampin' Up silicone craft sheet, and I've got some lemon lime twist re-inker. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops of re-inker on my craft sheet, and then I'll bring in the shimmery white embossing paste. Now it's important you leave this sealed. You can put some cling wrap or glad wrap or something over the top of it to help keep it sealed a bit better, but I find just keeping the wrapping on. Now you won't need a lot, that's probably more than enough. So I'll probably put a bit of that back in. Alright, seal it back up again as soon as you can. I actually keep it in the plastic bag that it comes into. So I'm just mixing the embossing paste with the re-inker. You can just do it with a marker if you haven't got a re-inker. So just mix it all around. It's a bit like mixing up icing with food colouring. So mix it all around, make sure you've got a nice even colouring. And then you're going to come on and you're just going to wipe that on. So you can do a fairly thin layer and come back and pick up any extra bits, put down somewhere else. So you just go on, keeping on like that. Now, when you go to trim your card, I suggest you do it with an old blade to start with, because the shimmery embossing paste, or any embossing paste really, can blunt your blade, so just be aware of that. Or if you've got a little guillotine trimmer, that would come in handy. So I think all those parts are covered. Now if I was just using the white, I could put this back in the bottle, in the jar, but because I've coloured it, I can't. So there we go. And then clean up is just with water. I just use cold water, and I find that's quite good. I'm just going to carefully lift this up. And you do need to be careful so that you don't tear the centre. I'll be back in a minute when that's a bit drier. Alright, that's dry now. Now I want to do a sentiment, so I've decided I'm going to use a sentiment from Stitched All Around. So enjoy your special day. This is a lovely set, and it goes with the Stitched Labels framelit dies. They come as a bundle for 10% off. So really lovely bundle. So I'm just going to use this sentiment out of the set, and for that I'm going to use my Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring that in and pop the stamp case underneath so that I've got a flat surface to put the hinged platform on, put my card in and make sure I've got the sentiment up the right way and just position it where I'd like it. So about there looks good. Close the plate, press down, lift up. I usually give it another bit of a press. All right, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black and I'll just ink that up. Make sure you've got it well inked. Give it a bit of a twist and come in and stamp down. So the Stamparatus is ideal for something like this, where you need to get a sentiment in the centre. And look at that. Then you come in with your chamois. Have you seen the chamois? The chamois is sort of purple, like this. Keep it in a clear mount case. Keeps it nice and moist. Needs to be moist, not dripping wet. And I've got a dirty side and a clean side, and I'll show you why. And I will go and clean this, but I clean it with the dirty side first. Give that a bit of a clean. See how it all comes off? And then when I'm happy that it's sort of clean, I give it another go with the clean side just to make sure I got all that ink off. Now, this is great, but it doesn't take the place of your Stampin' Mist and your Stampin' Scrub, because the Stampin' Mist and Scrub go together to help condition your stamps. So make sure that you're using the right tools for what you want, and you do want to keep you spend money, quite a bit of money on your stamps, and you do want to keep them nice. So every now and then put it up on a block and just clean it with your Stampin' Mist and Stampin' Scrub. So that's what I've done today. So there's that card, and I've used the little floral image out of Love What You Do. And there's the card front that we just made, and I'll finish that off and share it with you on my blog. All right, that's it for now. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you spending time with me. Don't forget, you can buy all these products in my online store, and I'd love you to be my customer. All right, bye for now.
It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll